Welcome people in heavenly life. That's the heavenly life of freedom. And that's what I want to speak about. Is freedom, real freedom. We know that real freedom is found in Christ. It's found in truth, because truth sets you free. And that's why I make this video. Because I want to see that a lot of people are getting new freedom in their life. I want to see people living new freedom instead of living in bondage, instead of wanting to meet the people's expectations for their life, for your own life. Maybe you were a person in your life that was always used to do this, was always used to meet others' expectations. But maybe the cause is because you don't really know what you really want in life. Like, God gave us freedom and He gave us a calling in our life. And of course you have free choice. But we as Christians, of course, we want to live and fulfill the plan that God has for us. We want to fulfill His will. But Jesus came to set us free. And I believe a lot of His children could already live in freedom, but they are still living in bondage. And I want you to be free. And real freedom comes when you think about also your own life. Like, did you live to meet the expectations of others all the time? For example, are you that person for which this video is? The person that always wanted to meet the expectations of others. Maybe never wasn't sure what life is all about other than doing what others are expecting for you, expecting from you, for what they want. And maybe you are somebody who believes that others want the best for you. And that's why they have expectations. That's why they want you to do certain things, because they just want your best. But that's not normally how people are, honestly. You know, people feel really comfortable when you are meeting their expectations, because like when I think about my old life, where I was more this person that always wanted to meet the expectations of others, I lost myself on this way. And I don't believe that God wants us to lose ourselves for other people on the way. Just, it's about we died and now resurrected to new life in Him, to follow Him, not people. But maybe your parents, or you just got raised like this, that you got used to just do what other people demanded from you, or even commanded you to do for them. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy when you live the lives of others, how they want you to live. It's not healthy. And it's not what Jesus wants for your life. It's not the life that He has for you. He has a life of freedom. And I believe your freedom starts where you just start to say no to these things. Where you find your identity in Him, where you really understand who you are in Him, and that you have value. He loves you. He sees the value that He put into you. You have value. You have things to give. Ask yourself why the people were demanding you to do things for them. Because they knew, they saw something in you. They knew that you have some value to give. But instead of saying this, they were communicating their expectations, because they kind of try to use the things that are in you for themselves, at the cost of you losing yourself on the way doing these things that they expected from you. And this is not the life that Jesus has for you. You know, there were often times where people expected Jesus to do certain things, and He just said no. Jesus didn't take all His followers all the time with Him. When He prayed for the dead to resurrect to life again, because He said they were sleeping. Sometimes He said that really. But like He just took some with Him. Even Peter, I believe there was I don't know where exactly right now, but there was a woman that was dead, and even he was not with everyone when he prayed for her, you know. So you don't have to take everyone with you in life. You don't have to meet the expectations of everyone in your life. You know what? When Jesus said, like, He brings the sword into their families, is because sometimes it's like this. When people see the light of God in you, it's kind of something what they want, and at the same time something they don't want. And some distance themselves from you, but because they see something in you, they want this, but at the same time they don't want to admit that there is something in you that they don't have. They kind of want it, but they rather try to use what's in you instead of telling you that you have real value to give. Because maybe they are afraid of when you would wake up to the truth that there is something really powerful in you. Maybe they are afraid that you kind of get more dominion, maybe dominion over them. Maybe they are afraid that you are rising over them, like they feel more. Maybe because you then have more money, have a better job, maybe you are more living a life that's more fulfilling than they are. So maybe they are afraid that you take the necessary steps because they just see the value that's in you. But God knows what He has put in you. And I believe it's really a work with the Lord. It's really something that the Lord, you just have to take the Lord into your boat. And He will help you to get rid of these things. He will help you to get rid of trying to be somebody that the people want you to be, instead of being the person that God has planned for you to be in your life. And that's why you don't feel this freedom that He already has prepared for you. You don't feel really free in life because you are living in bondage, meeting the expectations of other people. But He never meant this for your life. You know, when in the Bible it says that there are the different virgins, I believe, it's how you speak it out. And there are really good ones and also I wouldn't say dump, but I believe you just know what I want to say is they are not really taking care of the relationship to Jesus, I believe. They are not really taking the necessary steps to really follow God, but they are kind of living their own life. The foolish virgins, right? The foolish virgins. And they are all the time kind of, that's what I believe it says, that they want to take the oil of others. And I believe they just got used to it. They got used to it taking the oil of others. But when Jesus was there, they couldn't do it anymore. It was too late. And I believe when you were a person that was all the time just meeting the expectations of others, living for others, because maybe you also thought that this is God's will for your life, always just to please the people. I don't say it's a bad thing to help other people. I don't say it's a bad thing sometimes to do something for people, and maybe it's something they also expected, but it's something else to do it to please them instead of pleasing the Father. It's something else to do it for them because you are afraid to lose them. It's something else to do it for them just because they are demanding it from you, but you don't even feel the freedom that you want to do it for them out of love, that the love that God has put into you, but you are doing it because you feel like you're obligated to do it. And I believe that's something else than what God has planned for your life. So, I believe when you are stepping out of this comfortable life, but maybe it feels comfortable to you, but I believe it's draining you, it's draining your energy. It's draining your energy. The people are draining your energy because they are using you. Wake up. And I don't speak in arrogance or, looking down on you or something. I was this person that was trying to meet other people's expectations. And this drained all my energy. And there was a day where it was not the only cause of my depression, but that was one of the things that got me into depression. Because I lost myself on the way. I lost the thing that God really wanted me to do, live in freedom. And when you start to say no to people, it will make you free. It will give you a feeling of freedom and also of power, because God gave you the power of decision. But you are not using it, and you are not using the freedom that God has for you and already prepared for you, so you don't feel free, you feel drained. You are not energized, but you are like empty. And when you are the one that's feeling like this, then you should take the necessary steps with God, praying about it, but also really just starting to say no to these people that just all the time demanding something from you. And then you feel like you don't have enough energy. You just feel like you can't. But you say yes. Just start to say no. You can say, no, I'm busy right now. No, I'm taking time, just time out for me, like just relaxing. I'm just taking time with God, or I'm just locked in on some important stuff. I don't have the time. Or you just say, when you're honest, sometimes you just say, you know what, I can't. I'm not going to do this. You just have to ask somebody else. When I have time, or when I have the energy to help you, maybe I will. And if you feel it in your heart that you want really to help this person, not because she's demanding, but you want it out of love, then of course you can do it. But maybe not right now, where you feel empty, when you don't even have enough energy to work, to just I was in a place where I just felt so empty. I didn't know how to survive my workplace. I was falling asleep sometimes. And God was waking me up several seconds after all the time. He was my supporter. He was the one that helped me up all the time when I was falling, just because I was so empty of energy. I was so empty of energy. It just broke me. I was broken. Maybe you are broken today. Just feel free to take the necessary steps to free yourself from these people, because you can pray, you can ask God to help you, but you have to take the necessary steps. You can't just pray and don't do nothing, you know? Because when you are believing, it's like believing without having works. When you believe this is the right thing for you to do, then you have to take the necessary steps, and God will guide you, will help you to really get into the new freedom. Maybe you get a friend that's praying for you for freedom there. Maybe somebody that had same experiences, I don't know. Maybe a pastor. Maybe somebody that's, that's taking care of the souls of people. It's also a kind of service in the kingdom of God to people, taking care of their soul. So maybe you ask somebody like this, to help you on the way to get this freedom. And believe me, because I experienced it on myself, when you start saying no to people, when you start saying no to the expectations, and you can say, you know what, you can be honest, you can just say, also, when your friend is like really pushing you, trying to hold on to the old version of you, like, do this for me, do that, call this person for me, call this person for me, do this for me, just do it, please, And if you don't do it, person could say, oh, why are you so angry, Why are you so different now? Why are you not friendly anymore? Be careful, because when you are changing, normally people don't like it. And when they live from your energy, guess how they will feel when you are not there anymore? When you are not giving your energy for free anymore? When you start not giving your energy for free anymore, people will say, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this relationship with you. You are not giving me your energy. You don't have to do this. And when you stop doing this, you will have more energy for yourself. You will have more energy for yourself. And you will just feel so much more free. You will have so much more freedom. And that's the heart of God. He wants to see you in freedom. He wants to see you happy also. Not all the time just sad. I know there are times where we are sad. I know there are sometimes tough times, even with God, that we have to go through. But God is a good Father. He doesn't want you to be sad all the time, just because people are draining you. He wants you to draw a line. And sometimes it's necessary to lose people to meet new ones. It's sometimes maybe you can see it in a negative way, saying, but now I would just lose a lot of people in my life if I would just say no to their expectations. But there is where you find the real freedom for your life. We're just starting to do this. And that's what God's heart is for you, is to live in this freedom that He has prepared for you. And I'm right now even happy to, to hear of people that really started to live in this new freedom without having this pressure of meeting the expectations of others, but just living this relationship with Jesus and focusing more on Him, on what He wants. And as in the last video, of course, also just taking the time, and the plans, and the just finding out also now that when you start to really having the basis, also means that you're finding out for yourself what's the way, what's the plan that God has for you. He will just, I don't believe He will give you everything, but He will just give you the first steps or the next steps that you can take, where you can focus on Him and what He has for you, instead of focusing on the lives for others, living for others. But when you are taking the steps to the freedom, you will experience this freedom in Him. You will experience how it's really meant to be for your life. The really good plans that He really has for you. He's the Father who has the perfect gifts. The perfect gifts are coming from the one above. And I believe the freedom that He planned is a gift, man. When I just started to saying no to people, I felt so good. I just felt this freedom, and I understood that I can say no. And when you start understanding you really can say no, you will feel so much better. You will have so much more energy also to invest in yourself, to get knowledge. My people perish of what? Lack of knowledge. Of course the main source of our knowledge is God, but reading some books that other people, like how they got solutions for challenging things in their lives, will also help us to grow in life, will also give us some kind of knowledge. And I believe, it's both, but of course the main source is God. And maybe He will lead you to, when you have this new energy, to just take the time to read His word, of course, but also new books, new books that give you kind of knowledge that you need for life, to get better in certain things, and then you will just grow and you will just enjoy life on another level. You will just see that there's so much more in you, there's so much potential that God has put in you. But because everyone was just demanding from you, you never saw what God has put in you. So I believe this is all what God wanted me to tell you. Just take the first steps. Just think about how are you going to respond to people when they are demanding from you. You can just say, you can just write it down. When He's demanding from me, I will say, for example, when He is really pushing you to do something, you don't want it, I will not do what you want from me because I don't want it. I don't like it, so I will not do it. And He's pushing you even further to do it anyways. You can say, if you will do it, if you will try to push me again and again, I have no other choice, but I will not get, I will just, we have to terminate this relationship. I can no longer be your friend because, you don't need toxic relationships that are just based that you give all the time. Because it's normal that when you are around people that are giving, and I'm not speaking here about people that, need God and you are like you are telling them about the gospel, maybe spending some time with them. I'm not speaking about this kind of people, but I speak about people that are all the time around you, like really friends and the people that you're really spending a lot of time with. You really have to choose wisely there. Whom you are really letting in and whom not. It's not about meeting with people that really need Jesus, that really are hungry for him, and maybe sometimes you take the time because you know they are still living in sin, but they are kind of hungry, they want to hear the gospel, they want to know more about Jesus. Of course, they may be toxic people and you are just, telling them from God and maybe just spending time with them so they can see the light that is in you. That's something else than having all the time around you toxic people, like toxic friends, always just want to take from you and they're not giving anything, back. That's not healthy for you. So stay in God, pray, take the necessary steps to really just start to say no to the things that are unhealthy for you, to the things that want to keep you in bondage, because also we are not fighting against flesh and blood. But sometimes we just have to separate from people where the enemy is really working through them to destroy us. Don't forget, again, Jesus didn't always take everyone with him. And sometimes, when his mother was telling him, like, they have no wine for the feast. Wine is missing. What did he say? Because I believe in this moment, he wasn't convinced that it's the right time for him to do the miracle. He said to her, like, why are you telling me what to do? He drew a line. He was like, it's not the time for me right now. I will not do it. Maybe this is your expectation, but I will not do just because you are my mother telling me now what I have to do. But then I believe he realized, this is the will of the Father right now. So she was right. Now the Father was communicating with me and I recognized this is the right time, so I will do it right now. The miracle, But Jesus was not about meeting the expectations of other people. Think about Lazarus. The best friends of Jesus, he was the best friend. They were crying. They thought Jesus will come right now because Lazarus was about to die. And they knew Jesus loved this guy, They said, your best friend, I don't know how it was in the Bible, but your friend whom you love is sick. They expected him to come right now, but Jesus said, no, it's not the time. It's about something else, So Jesus had a plan. God had a different plan. So it's sometimes more about the plan that God has for your life, a plan how he wants to work through you, and not what people expect you to do in their timing maybe. So God bless you. Just find the way that God has for you, and is the way of living in freedom. Don't forget he loves you and he is your helper to bring you in this freedom that he has for you. So just pray and ask him to help you through this, okay? I wish you that you come really in that freedom that I'm already experiencing. This freedom to just know that it's okay. You can live like that. It's not egoistic. You can really live free from all this pressure of expectations. This is the real life that Jesus has for you. So just start today. Think about it. Write it down. Speak it over yourself when you are before the mirror. That you want to be this person that says no. And how will you do it? Tell yourself, how will you do it? How will you respond the next time? It's important. How will you do it? God bless you.